guys. Welcome back to the Click Chick podcast. I am back with Kristen today.
Hi.
She was on the last episode. If you guys haven't listened to that, we talked all about client experience and it was a very educational episode. So we are making a hard left with this one with no education, all gossip.
Love it.
Love it. Yeah, I think we just start the stories.
I'm here for it.
You don't need any yapping. There's going to be plenty of yapping with the stories.
Let's dig in.
So first of all, the topic for today is upset fiancés.
Ooh.
So all of these stories, whatever the bride did, the groom did, whoever, they upset their fiancé.
Okay.
So we are mostly, I think they're all AITA.
So it's like one person upset the other. Like whoever is writing has gotten upset by their significant other.
Or they upset their fiancé.
Okay, got it.
Yeah. We'll see as we go on. But all of these are AITA. So we are judging. Did we do AITA last time? Yeah. So you're familiar.
Yeah.
You're the asshole, not the asshole. Everyone sucks here.
Yeah.
The terms.
Yeah. I will say I don't know if I'm very good at these, but I'm going to try.
You're great. You're great. It's so fun. All you have to do is judge, honestly.
Okay.
So first story for today. Am I the asshole for asking a photographer to re-edit my photos? I recently got engagement photos done, and after getting my photos back, I was a little bothered that the photographer edited my body hair out of it. I don't shave my legs and underarms, and every photo where you would see them, she edited the body hair out of the photograph. I sent her a professional email saying that I was thankful for the beautiful photographs, but I did not ask her to edit my body hair out of the photo, and I would like for her to re-edit the photos to where my body hair isn't being photoshopped out. It just made me feel like she was shaming me for the fact that I let my body hair grow out or that there was something wrong with it by editing it out. She emailed me back saying no, and I was apparently insulting her work by asking this, and that she wasted her time. I got a bit annoyed as I thought that this was a reasonable request. My fiance thinks I should just let it go and that I'm being an asshole by harassing her over something that's not that big of a deal and agrees that I'm insulting her work. Am I the asshole?
So here's the thing. Here's the thing. If somebody does not ask you to edit something, if she didn't ask to have the body hair removed, why are we doing that?
Right.
That's number one, a lot of work. I don't know. And then the audacity to decline removing
I think
it.
she was offended because she probably spent like a good amount of time editing out all of the hair. So to feel like her work was wasted, and she's like, I took an hour to do all of that. Like, I'm grateful. Yeah.
I mean, depending on how many photos, like definitely doing like a whatever kind of like tool that you're using to either like smooth the skin or remove the hair or like mask it and whatever you're doing, it does take a lot of time.
Yeah.
However, I feel like there is a certain point as photographers that we need to put our pride aside.
Yeah.
Like, I did those and they look phenomenal, blah, blah, blah. Put your pride aside. Your job is to make your client happy.
Right.
So,
and it is insulting.
It is insulting.
I definitely am leaning the photographer's the asshole, and she's
for
not.
Sure.
I don't think she's insulting the photographer's work
Yeah,
at all.
I don't think so either. The photographer is the asshole for sure.
I've asked clients about things before, like if I show up and I notice like there's some yellow teeth, I'll just be like, oh, hey, by the way, like these are the normal edits I usually do, like a little bit. Like if you have any pimples, I'll edit that. I do a little teeth whitening. Is that okay with you guys? Is there anything else? Like whatever. I don't try to do heavy edits. I've had people ask me to like change their weight essentially in photos and be like, can you make me look more snatched or whatever? I'm like, well, with posing, like we can work with things, but like when I was starting out in photography, I did edit one girl's back and I just felt icky about it afterwards because I'm like, I understand the insecurity. Yeah. But also like that's the way that you look, and I thought she was beautiful, and so for her to I don't know, it was like a hard spot for me to be in. Yeah. And I feel like that is hard because I feel like a huge thing for me with taking photos of people is like I want to take photos
of people and like show them how beautiful I think they are. Like how, like the beauty that I see through my lens, whether you're, 100 pounds or 600 pounds, like it doesn't matter, like weight doesn't matter. It's the joy that's radiating in your face. You know what I mean? So that, it honestly like really hurts my heart. And I think she was fully within her rights to say like, I want to be myself,
Yeah.
And I do like blemishes. Like if somebody has like a small pimple or something, just like,
or like cut their finger, like whatever.
Yeah. Just like a small blemish. Sure. But like removing their body hair, if that's their personal choice, then that's their personal choice. But like on the other side of that, like you said, like people wanting to change their full bodies, we are here and accepting of all body types, anything, races, doesn't matter who you are, what you look like, where you came from. Like I love you the same.
Absolutely.
So, and if you don't celebrate that, we gotta talk. We gotta talk about it.
Right. Because, I think people have like this expectation in their head of what their photos are going to look like. And then they see all of the stuff on Pinterest and they're like, I want to look like that. And then, it's like, you look like you and like, you're beautiful.
Exactly.
Just stop looking at all of these perfectly edited photos on social media.
Yeah.
But I mean, who cares about armpit hair? Like, I think it's a nice gesture that the photographer did it. I think they were well intentioned in doing it. But like ask her in person or ask her before she edits it. I did that one time with, it was like a fresh scar. Yeah. So it was like, you could tell that they had like recently gotten hurt. I don't usually edit scars out, but it was, like still red. And I was like, hey, do you mind if I edit this out? Like, I know it's a part of blah, 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 blah. And I was like, I don't want to like touch anything you don't want me to touch. And she was like, yes, please get rid of it. Thank you. So
and like, getting that consent is because that's still, I feel like this is the biggest thing too. It gives the client autonomy. Yeah. That is the biggest thing because our autonomy is essentially like the only thing that we have, you know? So like if somebody takes that away from you and they literally remove it from your image, like it essentially doesn't exist to the world, like the world that sees it, you know? So I think that's actually really important to get that consent from people for sure.
Yeah. No, that's like such a good point for people to hear as photographers. That's important. But definitely the photographer's the asshole. I don't understand why the fiance is mad at her. But
the fiance's mad?
Yeah, the fiance's mad. He said that she is harassing the. Actually, I shouldn't assume gender. He didn't say. They didn't say if it was a man or woman. But the fiance is upset.
Maybe the fiance wishes they shaved it. I don't know.
Ooh.
They're like, oh, you're harassing them. You're making it a big deal. You should shave it.
They're like, I like it that. That sounds like they need some counseling before they get married, if that's the case.
Right? Oh.
Marriage counseling, please. I love marriage counseling. I think it's good for everybody.
Yeah.
All right, moving on. Next story. Am I the asshole for not wanting strangers in the background of my wedding pics?
No.
Hold on, though.
Okay, let me not jump the gun on this. I might change my answer.
I, 24 female, recently had my wedding on the beach of a beautiful hotel in Cancun. Many of my friends and family could go, so I was very happy. The only problem was during our ceremony, there were people on the sea playing or doing jet ski activities. It really bothered me because they would appear in the background, so I told my wedding planner about it. She was very understanding and said that she would fix it. When she talked to the owners of the activities and to the people in that area of the sea, we expected them to be kind and nice, but they just declined and continued. I even took the time to go myself and ask them to stop, but they didn't care. I was about to go and tell someone from the hotel, but my now husband stopped me and said it would be an asshole thing to do. I told him standing up for myself wasn't an asshole thing to do and went looking for hotel staff, but the hotel staff said there was nothing they could do. When I returned, my husband was moody, and I wonder if I really was an asshole to do that. Am I the asshole?
Okay, I might have changed my answer.
Yeah, I told you. I was like, wait till you hear it.
So I guess I could see both.
Yeah.
Both sides. Okay. If somebody's getting married, be respectful of the background. What a ceremony is like 30 minutes tops. Maybe it's a long one. Maybe it's an hour. I could understand the request, but what I can't understand is the expectation.
Yeah, exactly. Like it's no harm in asking, like the coordinator asked and then she asked, and that's when you drop it.
Right. Exactly. Because here's the thing. If somebody is renting a jet ski, that is somebody's livelihood. But of course, like if somebody is here and they're worried about their life and their wedding, they're not going to see like the bigger picture. Ultimately, at the end of the day, can their wedding photographer edit out people in jet skis? Probably very easily. Is every single picture going to have a jet ski in the background? Probably not.
Right. Well, and also like, I don't know how this resort is set up, but I know some only have like specific areas where you can do things. So maybe if you're going to ride a jet ski, that's the only spot in the resort you can ride the jet ski. So she's asking them to bail on whatever money they spent to be on the water. Yeah. So sorry, you are the asshole. Have you done a beach wedding? So not like on the beach. I think we talked about this before. It was near the beach. It was on like they call it I don't know if it's like intercoastal something. I don't know. It's on the water, but there's no sand. Okay. Are you familiar with Clearwater Beach in Florida? No. So it's like, wait, yes, I was there. Oh my gosh. Yep. I was there. I've been there. I forgot. Yes. I went to St. Pete Beach, but I was also, Did you know that's where I'm from? I did. Yeah. Yes. We talked about all of this. My bad. My brain just clicked back on. That's okay. Yeah. So, Clearwater is north of St. Pete Beach. And so, essentially like how Clearwater is structured, it's like, it's got the beach, of course, like it's got the sand and everything. And on the other side of it's not an island, but it's an isle, if that makes sense. I don't really know what they're called, but there's like a massive seawall, and then it's the water, like a big like inlet where people like drop in on their boats or whatever. So not like on the beach, but like really close. Yeah. Okay. So did you have people like walking in the background? We had this one guy randomly show up on a bike. It was like right before the ceremony. Thank God he left, because I was like, oh no. So where we were was like, I can't remember if it was private property or not. I'm pretty sure it was public, but because of the seawall, people like to like go by on bikes. Makes sense. But it was like the very end. So not a lot of people would go there to that specific spot, but he drove his bike like all the way to the end. And so I'm just like seeing him, and like people are being seated, and like I'm testing my camera, getting my settings good. And I'm just like looking at him, and I'm like, what is happening right now? And he's just like jamming some loud, I don't know, like Bob Marley or something. Oh my gosh. And I was like, my man, people are literally about to walk out. So as I'm staring at him, I think he kind of like looked around and kind of like got the understanding of what was going to happen. Social awareness. Yeah. And then he did drive off with his loud music. But yeah, that was like, yeah. So that's no people in the background, but almost. So yeah, long story to say. Fair enough. No people in the background. I've only ever done one wedding on the actual beach. It was at Myrtle Beach. So it was like a busy, yeah. But if people walked through, they like ran. Well, which is also distracting. Yeah, it is. But they were mindful enough to be like, I don't want to be in their photos. So that's nice. Yeah, it ended up being fine. Like as the photographer, I didn't really have to Photoshop anybody out of the background. Like it worked out where it wasn't that busy. That's but good. I think that's just your expectation. Like, what's the saying? Don't fall in love with a view you don't own. Like you can't control what happens in the background if that's not, you don't own the ocean. Like I've never heard that before, but I do like that. I think that's really interesting, especially like you said, you don't own it. Like it's not a wedding venue where there's an expectation of privacy or expectation of like isolation or something like that. This is a public space that you are sharing with the world. Well, and like the resort doesn't own the ocean. Right. Like, you can't control anybody could come through there. You could have a big cruise ship ruin your photos in the background, and quite you're literally just SOL. Like it is what it is. So that's a risk you knowingly take when you book it. So interesting. Yeah, she's the asshole. 1000%. 1000%. Not me. Like 1000%. You're not the asshole immediately. And then I was like, wait a second. Okay. Yeah, you're the asshole. That's why I love these stories, because the titles can be misleading. Okay, next story. Am I the asshole for being upset my fiance doesn't want to take engagement photos? I, 33 female, and my fiance, 31 male, are getting married later this year. We got engaged last September, and after discussing the pros and cons of a more traditional wedding, we decided to elope. There are a lot of factors contributing to our decision, but the biggest one was cost. While we both have very comfortable salaries, there are a number of shared goals we have in the coming years, like buying a house, starting a family, stocking up on greenies for our dogs, and we decided the money was better spent working towards those things. Separately, our families are in different countries, so no matter where we decided to get married, half the guests would need to travel a considerable way. When we told our immediate friends and family about our decision, most were happy with the exception of his parents. They didn't fully understand our respect for our decision to elope. They feel we're taking our wedding day away from them and are concerned what their friends and family might think. But his mom in particular was upset. She said some really hurtful and manipulative things to my fiance, and he was crushed by her response. For a few months, he was understandably not in a good headspace to chat about wedding planning, and I respected that. I checked in time to time and asked how he was feeling, but I didn't feel it was my place to insert myself. Conversations about our plans have resurfaced pretty organically, and despite the pushback, we're both fully on board with an elopement. Last weekend, we decided on a location for our wedding and began booking travel and accommodations. While walking our dogs earlier tonight, we were chatting about wedding photography, and I brought up engagement photos, which were something he hadn't really considered. Because our elopement will be just the two of us, wedding photos will serve almost as the same purpose, and engagement photos are an added cost. Coincidentally, less than an hour later, my fiance came across an IG post from a friend of his who is a very skilled photographer seeking a couple for a free shoot tomorrow afternoon. My fiance asked me if I would be interested, and I excitedly said yes. Less than 30 seconds later, my fiance apologized and said he had a haircut tomorrow that he couldn't miss as his barber books a month out. I thought he was joking at first, but he was serious and apologized for getting my hopes up. I again asked if he was joking, and when he said he wasn't, I felt myself start to tear up and walked away. I feel like it's an incredibly selfish decision to prioritize a haircut over the chance to take engagement photos, which previously weren't in our budget. Separately, I've tabled the discussions around wedding planning these last few months while he's been working through his parents' response, and I feel like we just got going again. Even though this isn't something we had planned, I was excited by the chance to take photos with him, and now I feel incredibly let down. Am I the asshole?
A couple of things to unpack here immediately. Yeah. If you really want to do something, you'll find it in your budget. Number one.
Yeah.
They said they had financial goals. I get it. What is a one-time expense?
Right.
If it's something you really want to do. Now, if you don't have the money, you don't have the money. I will say, guys are particular about who cuts their hair.
The barbershop is a religious experience.
It really is. Yeah. So I can see it from from his perspective. Mm-hmm. He has this thing, and it's like, so like for certain people, like they like to get their nails done. They like to get pedicures. For some people, they like to go to the barbershop and they like to get their hair cut. That is their moment of peace, maybe in that week, those couple of weeks, that month, whatever. So I get it. Especially if he says his barber books like a month out. That's like insane. To further like, I guess like play devil's advocate for like both of them. If you really cared, you would find somebody to take your engagement photos.
Yeah.
It was a free thing. It was a free opportunity. That's not even, I'm assuming they didn't even confirm with the other photographer, with the photographer.
Yeah, it was within 30 seconds.
And he was like, just kidding.
He was like, oh, hey, there's this opportunity. Wait, no, I have a haircut.
Right. So there's no guarantee that he would have been like, oh yeah, let's do it. He very well could have been like, oh, I'm really sorry. I had this other, whoever like reach out first. So that's another thing. And also I'm not understanding, like, I don't know. Like, if you really want something, find the budget for it. Like, she very clearly states, we live comfortably.
Right. And engagement sessions aren't that much money. Like, how hard is it? Not to like, everybody has their own budgets, and what's affordable to some people is not affordable to others.
Sure.
But $500 to $800 for an engagement session.
Yeah. Like if that's something you genuinely want and you're crying because you're sad you're not going to get it. Like I felt myself tear up, like cry me a river.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like if you really, really, truly, if it was important to you, find it in your budget. especially depending on like, it sounds like they didn't have a secure date.
Mm-hmm.
So it could have been 6 months or a year. You can save up during that time. You know what I mean?
And I think it's something like the family's upset. So it would be something more to like give to the family too, like as a part of the wedding experience. Not that engagement photos are necessary.
Yeah.
But like as a photographer, I think they are.
Yeah.
They're important.
And they're always fun.
But yeah, I also don't, everyone processes things differently, but I don't love that he needed months to not talk about the wedding planning at all and is just brushing her off for months.
They could also be her like putting it off because she doesn't want to like hear the negative whatever from whoever. Like there's a lot of like what ifs at play, and it very easily could have been like she didn't bring it up for months. You know what I mean? Like there could have been like a lot of different factors at play, but I don't know. I think maybe she just needs to see things from his perspective a little bit. Not necessarily like anyone's an asshole, but like.
Because I don't think he sucks for that.
He doesn't suck for that.
Yeah.
And especially if it was for free and there was no confirmation like it was going to happen.
And she's allowed to have hurt feelings. I don't think anybody, what is it? No one sucks here? No assholes here. That's
no
the term.
Assholes here.
No assholes here. Yeah.
That's the first, I think.
That's the first time.
That's the first time.
We're being very nice today. The golden retrievers are out. We are barking.
Yeah. Woof woof.
Okay, so last week, if you listened to the episode, you heard that I censored a certain story to make it podcast appropriate. So this is the one.
This is the one.
So no one judge me for my choice of words here.
I might.
Am I the asshole for getting annoyed that my fiance won't just smile for a picture instead of making a stupid gaping mouth face? My fiance makes this really stupid face in pictures.
Ick.
Smile big, but with your mouth closed. Then just let your jaw hang open. It's this awkward, weird cross between a smile and gaping mouth.
Wait, can we try it? Can you say it again?
Smile big, but with your mouth closed. Then just let your jaw hang open. Oh, that's bad.
It's so bad.
It's so bad.
Really crazy about. I've actually had a guy do that at an engagement session.
Okay, we're gonna need to hear about that in a second because we're gonna need that.
Okay, but I will say like he participated in like the majority, but like he would just like if I'm like throwing a prompt, he would like. But anyways, we can get back to the story.
Oh my gosh.
Yes. Oh, I know exactly what she's talking about. That's very frustrating. Let's hear the story.
Horrible. Where was I? I'll just start over.
Sorry.
No, you're good. I have ADHD. My fiance makes this really stupid face in pictures. Smile big, but with your mouth closed. Then just let your jaw hang open. It's this awkward, weird cross between a smile and gaping mouth. Sometimes he just opens his mouth really wide without a smile and looks super, I don't know, shocked, excited. He only does it sometimes though. Before we started taking pictures for our engagement announcement, I just asked him if we could try to make these nice photos so we can share them. Got the camera ready and he makes the face. I asked him if he could just smile regularly and he got all pouty saying, "That's no fun. Come on, lighten up." I got really frustrated because we took about 5 pictures with that stupid face. I even made the face with him once thinking it would get him to do a normal one, but he refused. I got really frustrated and asked him why he's doing this. Does he not want to make an announcement, etc.? He said he did, but he didn't get what was wrong with showing a little personality while we did it. I said that we don't have many nice pictures of us other than the ones from other weddings where he's not making that face. So can we just get one photo? And if it's so important to him, he can send the one of us making that face together to his friends and family, and I'll send the other one out to mine. He said that was stupid. I finally said, fine, we'll just send out an old picture from someone's wedding or something where we actually look nice. He told me I was being hypersensitive and it shouldn't matter so much what other people think. And I said, it's not about what other people think, it's about what I think. Maybe I went too far, but I said, if you can't even just pose for a few pictures with a normal face instead of looking like you're a drunk frat guy waiting for someone to shove an eggplant in your mouth, maybe you're not mature enough to get married yet. He said I overreacted big time and is pissed at me for the eggplant in your mouth comment. I asked him what the F that face is supposed to be since it's obviously not a smile. Am I the asshole?
Yo, that got a dark turn.
Yeah, I'd be mad too.
I would definitely be mad, but she like popped off at the end. Like she popped.
She said, "What? You're waiting for an eggplant?"
And that's like censored.
Yeah. She
That's
used
massively
the full
censored.
word. Yeah.
She
went for it.
So I can understand where she's coming from. However, I will say not to throw gender specific things out there. Typically, ladies want photos more than the guys.
Yeah, definitely.
The guys are not really a fan.
Yeah.
Not to say all ladies love pictures, because they don't. Not to say all guys hate pictures, because they don't.
Yeah.
But guys also typically, again, not to assume gender roles or anything like that, but typically guys have this like anxiety about photos that typically comes across as anger.
Yeah.
As well as like they just don't know how to process. So they're goofy, they get mad, they whatever. It's this anxiety. They don't want to take the photos. So they kind of like have this like strange behavior almost. Can I share a story?
Please, please. I've been dying to hear it since you mentioned it.
So this is actually a different story.
Oh, okay.
And as you're talking about this story and like explaining further, I am like thinking about like the anxiety thing, and it drew me back to a session of one of my couples. I guess I shouldn't have said that. This really hurts my heart to talk about, but very, very anxious about taking photos, and very, very jittery, and which is normal. I tried my absolute best. I do think that he kind of like loosened up afterwards. But he was so anxious in the very beginning that when I said go forehead to forehead, he head-butted.
Oh no, that's really sweet. That's cute.
But it was like with force. Like he
had caught an attitude?
Not an attitude. He was so anxious, and he like with force.
Just enthusiastically.
Very enthusiastically. And I was like, oh my gosh, like, are you okay? And she was like, yeah, I'm okay. And I'm like, but really, do we need to take a break? Like, are you okay? And like, it didn't bleed, thank God. But it was like, I really thought it was going to. It was hard.
Did he feel bad?
I think he was like so anxious he didn't really realize he did it.
Oh, okay,
but I tried to just like keep it moving. Like I didn't see it. Let's keep, you guys are doing great, but like full on headbutt. So I will say, I feel like a lot of times people get very, very anxious and they don't know how. And especially if the photographer is not helping, like I don't know who is doing their announcement pictures, but if a photographer is not making both parties feel comfortable, that's kind of like, that's what happens, unfortunately. You know what I mean? Like if I am, and this is just kind of who I am, if I'm seeing that happen, I'm addressing it immediately. Like, do you not feel comfortable? What can I do to make you feel comfortable? Are you more goofy? Let's do goofy stuff. I'll have you do like a piggyback ride. You know what I mean? Like,
and that's
really
what
addressing
I like about the candid photos too, is we're getting mostly the clients interacting with each other.
Yeah.
Like when I do a session, I get 2, maybe 3 photos where the clients are actually looking at the camera.
Yeah.
And the rest of them looking at each other or walking, talking, whatever.
Yeah.
And so I feel like he would have benefited from that style of photo instead of let's both stare at the camera, super intimidating, and smile.
Yeah. And just to kind of like go back to him, like, why can't we show our personalities? Like you should be showing your personality. Yeah. Absolutely. Like I want you to show your personality in my sessions, please. Absolutely. Like, why wasn't that happening? So I will say, I feel like she did, I don't know. It's kind of like not a catch 22, but like, is he mature enough to like properly like speak his feelings? Like, I don't feel comfortable with this. I want something else. Sure. That's different than you're not mature enough to take a photo. That's a little excessive. And also you should know who you're marrying. If you know you're marrying a goofball, accept them for all of who they are. Accept them as a goofball. So I don't know. I'm kind of like, this makes me feel a little icky.
I wish he would go along with it for her sake. Like, why can't you do one photo?
Yeah. Just like one.
Yeah.
And this is a special occasion. You're freaking engaged.
Yeah.
So just crack a smile, I do agree with you on that for sure. But also like, she should know if she's marrying a silly goose.
Yeah.
And
maybe maybe this is a red flag for her.
Boom. Or for him.
Or for him.
Ooh.
Like, if you're trying to, like, he's not complying. Complying is an aggressive word.
Yeah.
He's not going along with it for her sake.
Yeah.
And she's not accepting that this is the only face he's going to make.
Yeah.
Like, it's a small thing. Like, I'm not saying break up or anything, but counseling, go to therapy.
Go to therapy. That's our answer for everything. Go to therapy.
Yeah, it's a good answer.
It is.
So is she the asshole? She's the asshole for the eggplant in the mouth comment.
Yes. When she popped off, that's when you took it to a whole new level. It didn't need to go there. Honestly, if you can't like regulate your emotions and you just like pop off like that over like photos, maybe that's a red flag for him.
Yeah.
So I'm going to say she's the asshole.
Yeah, she's the asshole.
For sure.
Or does everybody suck? Does he suck?
Does he suck? I don't know.
I'm going everyone sucks here, but you can call her the asshole.
Okay. I will say they both have things to suck for.
Yeah.
Not the eggplant, but they but they both have things to suck for, absolutely.
All right, moving on with that one because that was a great closer sentence. Thank you for that. Am I the asshole for being angry with my fiance for wanting me to redo my proposal? My fiance and I have been together for several years and talked about getting married several months ago. However, I still wanted to buy her a ring and propose officially. My fiance told me to make sure I got a good photographer. She and her friend Kelly take photos together as a hobby, and she asked if I could ask Kelly to take photos if I wanted. They're not professionals, they just do it for fun. I asked another one of her friends for ring advice. That friend told Kelly, and Kelly told my fiance, so I didn't want to ask Kelly for any more help. I asked my little cousin, an Instagram model, to take pictures instead. I put a lot of work into the proposal and got emotional telling her how much I loved her. She was really surprised and happy at first, but kind of shut down after seeing my cousin. Later, she told me she loved the proposal but was upset that I didn't get a professional photographer. She asked if I could propose again, even if it was a really simple one. I got really upset that I put in all of this work and she just cared about the pictures. My cousin's pictures didn't turn out that well, but that's mostly because I proposed at night and my fiance has brown skin. I pointed out that she told me I could have used Kelly, who isn't a professional either. My fiance said she didn't know if Kelly would have done better, but that she has more experience taking pictures of my fiance and would have told me to propose differently if she couldn't handle it. I proposed the way I wanted to, not because of how it looked on camera. I told her she was being insane and I needed space, so I've been sleeping in the living room and avoiding her. Part of me knows that she loves photography and warned me to get a good photographer. However, I can't believe she cares that much about pictures at a time like this. My cousin and close family obviously know about the first proposal and that I don't know how to explain second photos of another proposal without making my girlfriend sound super controlling and superficial. Am I the asshole?
She's the asshole.
She's a little crazy.
She's the asshole. So, as a photographer, I know my answer should be, oh my God, why didn't you?
I know. I felt bad. So, for me, I don't know that I would want a photographer at my proposal.
And that's fair.
Yeah.
I would love to photograph any and all proposals.
I love proposal photos.
But if you get proposed to at night, why are we most concerned with the photos? Have really awesome engagement photos after.
Yeah.
The person who loves you and is electing to spend the rest of their life with you just proposed and you're most concerned with photos. I know that makes me sound really, really bad as a wedding photographer, but like GTFO.
Yeah, it's a red flag.
Yeah. That's a major red flag, especially if she's like straight up asking him to redo it. Are you kidding me?
Also, like, fake a proposal photo when you do your engagement session then.
Right.
If you're that upset about it, just have him like get down on a knee so you can have that photo to put in your house.
This makes me actually really mad because he even said like, I got really emotional and I loved the moment. And then she effing ruined it. Yeah. She ruined it. He didn't say she ruined it, but she ruined it.
It's not a happy memory anymore because all he's going to do is look back on the photos and be like, she didn't like this.
She didn't appreciate it.
No, does he suck because he knew she wanted a good photographer and he didn't provide one?
I mean, so sure, but why, if he had a specific, because maybe like the location was significant to them,
Sure.
maybe the time was significant to them. It sounds like he put some thought into it.
Yeah.
So, and he, like you said, he proposed to her like he wanted to. Now, I understand, you know, like respecting her wishes, but I feel like this is something that like, or like, to be completely honest, marriage is not always doing exactly what your partner wants. Unfortunately, that's not real life.
Yeah.
In any instance, not just marriage, but like any instance,
Yeah.
real life is not like, oh, this is my preference, so you're going to do it. No. Now it would be respectful, sure, but that's not real life. So even though that's her preference, I don't know. I'm really torn on this, but I think she's the asshole for sure.
It takes I'm in a hard spot because I'm a photographer, right?
Yeah,
so like
sure.
obviously I appreciate proposal photos.
Of course.
But it's not about the photos. Like who cares?
Exactly. Just like we keep seeing these like reels on Instagram, like, oh, it's not, your wedding day is not a photo shoot, it's your wedding day.
Yeah.
The same goes for this. Like the same goes for a proposal. It's not about the photos, it's about the moment, and it's about joining your lives together.
Exactly. And I've been struggling with this for the last couple of years, like, you know, being photography is my job.
Yeah.
So when I'm at a concert, when I'm with friends, when it's whatever, I don't take a lot of photos because I just want to be present.
Yeah.
And it's hard for me when people want to take videos throughout the entire dinner of the whole process. I'm like, yeah, like this is beautiful. Like I don't blame you for wanting to take a picture or video or whatever, but it's like constant. I'm like, do you even look back on this? Like, are you having fun? Like, are you even having fun? Or are you just thinking about what your Instagram is going to think? And I know some people make money off of it and like it's their career, and I don't judge you for that. And I don't judge you for wanting to document everything either. It's just not my preference. It stresses me out. Like somebody, I want to like shake them and be like, enjoy your life.
Literally. Can I ask you a question though?
Yeah.
And kind of like, in addition to like what you were just talking about, if you see people with a phone and they're like trying to take a picture together, do you go up to them and say like, hey, I'm a photographer?
Always.
Me too. And my husband makes fun of me for it every single time. No. And I'm like, no, I will help you. And I will hype you up as I'm taking your picture. Like,
they're always excited about it.
Exactly. Yeah. I'm always going to do it. And I will always tell you I'm a wedding photographer because girl, I don't know if you engaged or not.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. Mm-hmm. Anyways.
No, I love doing that for people. But yeah, all to say,
I think she's the asshole. Sorry. I don't know if you're going to agree.
So the thing is, she said she wanted Kelly to photograph it, the friend. But then Kelly went ring shopping with him and blabbed about it to the bride. So like, if you're going to ruin that, then yeah, you can't be invited to the proposal. So for that reason, the bride is the asshole.
I missed that part.
Yeah.
I missed that part. Yeah, I agree. She's the asshole.
Yeah. Like Kelly lost her privileges to be there when
revoked.
she's
revoked.
Okay. Next story. Am I the asshole for not pushing my family to include my fiance in Christmas card photos? I, 37 male, am engaged to my fiance, 31 female, planning on getting married at the end of this year. My family takes a Christmas card photo every year, usually around big events like graduations or parties. When everyone is together, which isn't often. Years ago, my mom instituted a not until you're married policy, so including significant others in photos, and applied that rule to my brother when he was dating and engaged to his now wife. My fiance has had significant issues with this. Last year, when the family took photos shortly after she and I were engaged, she directed many snide comments to me about how excluded she feels. This year, she flatly refused to drive with me to a family graduation, saying how hurt and excluded she felt by this policy, since we are getting married this year and the card is coming out the year we are getting married. I've tried to explain that this isn't our card. This isn't our right to tell others who can and can't be on their card. And we could always have our own card to start our own little tradition. She's made several comments around how surprised she is that I haven't stood up for her to my mother, even telling me that she's discussed the issue with others and they are also surprised that I wouldn't take a stand with my mother on this. She also made a point multiple times to say, good, less time to spend on photos with them at the wedding, implying a tit-for-tat response to this policy. I really don't know what to do. Am I the asshole?
Oof. Family policy is family policy.
Yeah?
I don't know. I'm just kidding.
Okay, I'm like, why can't we do one with and without?
No, and that's what I was going to say. You know,
like she doesn't have to be in the Christmas card, sure.
Yeah.
But
and also,
she can be in a photo.
Yeah. And like, pick your battles, mother-in-law.
Yeah.
if I were welcoming somebody into my family, you're marrying my child.
Mhm.
Why am I not doing everything I can to make you feel welcome to this family?
That's what I mean. Like the with and without, like you can do it. I've had, like we do weddings.
Yeah.
So on wedding days, it's like there's fiancés and girlfriends. And I've had like a mother of the groom. She was like, oh, haha, like you're going to be in the next one. Like, I know y'all are getting married. So I got you on the next one. Like whatever, like playful, cute.
Yeah.
So like, it's not offensive then.
Yeah.
You know, you're going to be in the photo and it's like, oh, policy's policy, hee, but I got you.
But I mean, just like how petty is that?
Yeah.
Like not until you're married, literally their wedding is coming up that year. It's not like they're newly in a relationship. It's not like they're newly engaged or it's been a 5-year engagement. You know what I mean? Like they are
the
getting
Christmas card.
Yeah.
You made a good point. You might have convinced me.
Which part?
Like that they're going to get married anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, like I don't know.
But engagements end.
What?
Engagements end.
I mean, that's very true. And she sounds like, no offense, she sounds like a little, you know?
I don't know. I feel like he kind of sucks for not advocating for her a little bit.
Yes, that's another big thing. Like, if you cannot stand up to your family for me and advocate for me to your family, what are we even doing right now?
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. I could see both. Because
again, like at least get one photo. Like it doesn't have to be the one that makes the Christmas card, but at least get one photo where she's in it. Because if you're asking her to take it or whatever and just so blatantly excluding her, like, okay, go stand off to the side while we do this thing for this family you're joining, but you're not going to be a part. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, it gives me a big ick. And I'm going to say the mother-in-law is the asshole for this one.
Yeah, the mother-in-law is the asshole.
Yeah.
But the question is the groom or her the asshole?
Again, I can see both sides. Like he should be standing up for her, but she also needs to pick her battles.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Is he just bowing down to the mother?
Yeah, we don't like that.
Which is a red flag.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think she's the asshole. I think he's the asshole.
Yeah. I think he should be standing up for her and like advocating for her.
All right. The last story for today is, would I be the asshole for canceling my sister-in-law's engagement photos because her fiance told my brother-in-law he can't stand me?
What? Can you read that last part again? My brother-in-law told what?
Would I be the asshole for canceling my sister-in-law's engagement photos because her fiance told my brother-in-law he can't stand me?
I think I'm really confused.
Yeah,
who? What does she even have to do?
Sister-in-law's
Maybe let's read the story and we'll find out.
So her fiance's sister's fiance.
See what I mean?
This is hard. No. So she's going to do engagement photos of this couple. It's her brother's sister. Her husband's sister.
Okay.
Her husband's sister's engagements. Oh my God, y'all, I'm trying.
Her husband's sister is engaged. She's taking their photo. Okay.
Yep. Her husband's sister is engaged doing the photos.
But the sister says she can't stand her.
The soon-to-be brother-in-law can't stand her.
Ew. Okay. Yeah. Let's read it.
Yep. So I, 29 female, am a photographer, and my sister-in-law, 21 female, let's call her Alyssa, and her 24 male fiance, Brandon, had asked me to take their engagement photos. I initially agreed and was happy about it. I offered help with styling, scouted locations, and everything. Let me add here that Brandon had always seemed to just be shy and quiet, who kept to himself ever since he was introduced to us 2 years ago. I never had a clue he actually hates me and my husband. A lot.
What?
This isn't the first time I felt a little awkward tension between Brandon and I, but Alyssa let me know that he did like me and I was overthinking it. This was about a month ago now. My brother-in-law, 28 male Cole, just called us to let me know about his weekend plans, asked to hang, the average conversation, but then was like, oh man, I gotta tell you that Brandon really let it be known that he can't stand you guys at dinner with everyone, and he really thinks you are the most annoying people in the family. Cole had also said that Brandon had mentioned that he was thankful that Cole and their dad were at least normal, unlike the rest of us, who annoyed the living heck out of him. So basically, the rest of us are trash. I am highly offended by this. This is the most blindsided I've ever been by someone who is actively seeking something for free from me. I am not just a freelance photographer. I'm a luxury wedding photographer in a large city. This is my career and also someone who is going to be in my family. Brandon also had said some not so nice things about my husband while on this rant about us, and I'm having a hard time not making a phone call directly to the source to confront this. I will always defend my own immediately, but must say I'm conflicted in causing family conflicts right before 2 large weddings are about to happen soon. Part of me feels extremely guilty and sad for Alyssa because I do like her. We've never been extremely sisterly or close, but she's always been sweet, and it really hurts that she was basically right there while Brandon sits letting everyone know that he has such a problem with us just days before this engagement session. I really don't think I could show up on Sunday and play pretend after hearing that I'm so annoying and the worst to be around. Would I be the asshole for canceling the session while also letting her know that I would not have hurt feelings if they didn't want me there at all, as I am now uncomfortable being around them?
Ew.
So sad.
So sad. Makes me actually really mad because you can't have the respect for your soon-to-be family.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to make it openly known to your future wife that you don't like their family.
Yeah.
Ew, you're a nasty person.
It's so rude.
It's so rude. If you don't like them, mind your business. Hello, how are you? Nice to see you. Okay, get on with your life. If you think they're annoying, how dare you open your mouth and say that in front of people, especially at a dinner, in front of other people.
Well, it's one thing to just take issue. Even talking crap like that is one thing. But to use her for photos, but also absolutely despise her, that's where I get pissed. Because I've had that happen to me before with people.
What?
And
Share?
Like, no, I can't. I don't want to call anybody out.
Maybe at dinner.
But yeah, we'll talk at dinner after this. But basically, just for the pod, like people who are friends and find out later that they're not as good of a friend as you thought, but you've done multiple branding shoots for them or family sessions or whatever. I won't say any specifics about what it actually was, so I don't call anyone out. But
you should feel really bad about yourself.
You should feel really bad about yourself.
And ew.
Yeah, so like it's fine.
But
you don't have to like them.
Frustrating.
But just don't use and abuse their services. Like if she's a high-end luxury photographer, she's more at that upper level. Like she's gifting you $800, $1,200. Who knows what she charges for an engagement session? And that's for free.
And I just feel like it truly just like lack of respect. I feel like regardless of your feelings towards somebody, if you can't even respect them, that reflects poorly on your character.
Right.
So yeah, what's the question in regards to like, who's the asshole?
Would she be the asshole if she canceled the engagement session?
No, absolutely not. You as a photographer have the right to decline any work. And this was seemingly for free. You have the right to decline anything, especially if somebody's making you feel icky and they have said things behind your back when they're allegedly supposed to be family, whatever. Absolutely not. Yeah. Absolutely. And especially I feel like with in-laws, it gets a little sticky.
Definitely.
So it's really hard to navigate a situation, but in my own experience, what I've learned is just be respectful to people. And if you can't be respectful and you're just blatantly out there saying they're annoying or whatever this person said, that reflects poorly on his character.
Yeah.
And so I don't know. I really don't like that. I don't like how she's literally gone out of her way, probably very busy schedule, to accommodate them. And he has the audacity to speak so poorly in front of people, no less.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
I don't like it. I think she should take it up with the fiance, Alyssa, and be like, hey, this is what I heard. This is why I'm backing out. Like, love you, think you're so sweet. Because she said she feels bad because she's a great person.
Yeah, I think that'd be appropriate.
And just like have a girl talk instead of calling him out directly. Like I'm good at confrontation and like that's normally what I would do. But I think in this situation, because it is more sensitive, that I would just go to her instead of going to him and be like, I heard you don't like me. And then it's this actual conflict instead of just a little heart to heart.
Yeah. And I feel like there is this situation that they're going through is going to set the tone for the rest of their marriage and her dynamic with her family. And it's not just engagement photos. It's not just a wedding. Like like I think the photographer mentioned, like she has two weddings or something like coming up, it's not just those weddings.
Mm-hmm.
It's the dynamic of the family that changes after those weddings that's important.
Mm-hmm.
And if you can't, as a person, be respectful to that family, you have no business being that family. Like, not to
Right.
tell that sister-in-law like what to do, but like leave his ass because he
I
sounds
would.
so scummy.
Yeah.
If you can't respect my family, like, what are you?
And then to just say it in front of everybody
Yeah.
too, like that's
It's
so
really
hurtful.
disrespectful.
Like, yeah.
Yeah. And especially like, who is he saying this around? Her like mom, her father,
Right.
her, like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, who is he speaking this freely around?
Sounds like everybody
Right.
doesn't care.
And that's got me
Mm.
fired up.
Mhm.
I'm going to say he's the asshole. She's not the asshole.
Yeah. She's
And-
definitely not the asshole. I would totally cancel on that too.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
Absolutely. And I like how you said, like, have a little sister moment with Alyssa. Hey, love you, mean it. I'm not photographing you and
Right.
your significant other because he's an asshole.
Yeah.
So,
Like,
for
change your man, get a different one. I'll
Change your
photograph
mans.
that.
Yes. Love that. Find somebody happy and respectful and like wants to be
Yeah.
around your family.
If you marry someone actually cool, then
Yeah, we can
we're
talk.
Cool. Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. I love that.
Yeah, definitely not the asshole. Okay, that was our last story.
Love that. Thanks for joining us. I stole your line.
Yes.
Sorry.
No, steal it. Thank you for joining us.
Where can I find you, McKenna?
I love, girl, she's taken over the podcast. Love this. You can find me at 1828 Collective, or if you want to see more about the podcast and photo education, it's at 1828 Photo Education. Continue. Our new host, Kristen.
And you can find me. You can find me at inbloomphotography.nc.com or on Instagram, inbloomphotography.nc. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you for being here.
Love coming back.
Fun
and hanging
fact,
out with
she's
you.
the first return guest on the podcast. So shout out to Kristen.
I mean, I'm not going to say it's because I'm awesome, because I mean, I am, but like also.
It's not because you're awesome. Like, she's pretty cool.
Oh my gosh, I'm so ridiculous. But seriously, thanks for having me. It's always fun. And I just love seeing you. Any excuse to see you.
Good. And we always get dinner after this. So
Yes,
that's
we're gonna have a little
nice.
girl date.
Girl dinner. Okay.
Yes, love it.
Thank you guys for listening and see you next week.
Bye.